Bonsoir et bon appétit! Oh my gosh. Oysters Mornay. This is a French recipe that is so delicious. It's packed with cheese, cream, milk, nutmeg, pepper, salt. It is absolutely delicious. We poached the oysters. Don't get intimidated. It's super easy to do this and you'll get it done in about 30 minutes. And look at how beautiful this is. And trust me, it is lovely. It tastes amazing. Please watch the video and let me know what you think. Thank you.
Let me introduce you to my ingredients. So I have oysters. 6 people, you need 24. You're going to need 2 ounces of butter, and I cut it into a little over 1 ounce and then like 3/4 ounce. You're going to need some nutmeg. You're going to need 1 shallot finely chopped. You're going to need some Gruyère cheese, which is a French cheese or Swiss cheese. Or you can use Swiss cheese, but this is much better. And I have 2 quarter cups here. One's for putting it on top of the oyster, and one is to make the sauce. Now, you can use Parmesan to top it on the oyster, but I like Gruyère. You're going to need a quarter cup of flour. You're going to need some sea salt. We have too much sodium in our diets. Try sea salt. We got some coarse black pepper. You're going to need, sorry, I kept that in the fridge. You're going to need a cup and a quarter of milk. And that's it. Really, that is it. This is such an easy dish. Anyways, this will change your life. Explore foods. Be creative. You want to add little herbs to it. You want to, just have fun. We're going to broil it, make it golden. The oyster's going to be poached. Oh, just delicious. So let me go ahead and shuck these oysters, and I'll be back.
Okay, so let's get cooking. So I shucked my oysters, and I cleaned my oysters, and I used a vegetable brush to clean them, and a knife to remove any shells that are loose and whatever. Washed them at the bottom. When I was shucking my oysters, and by the way, if you need to learn you need to watch my shucking oyster video so that you do it properly. But the only difference is that when you shuck it, you open it, do over a strainer in your pot, remove the juices, and put the oysters in a separate tray. So I'm just going to take some more of those juices and put it in there. Now this is very important because it adds a lot of flavor. All right. Once you've done that, just put this aside for now. We're going to take a clean pan and we're going to put 2 tablespoons of butter in there. Let me get my clean rag over here. There we go. Or a kitchen towel. So I'm using a French plate to do this because I'm going to make a bouillie, which is basically flour and butter, and I'm going to mix it. And I need some pretty good heat, and then I need out here is very low heat. A French plate is really warm here, really light warm here, not very hot at all, so it's perfect to make it sauces. So anyways, as you can see, we're melting that butter, and that's going to take a minute. Okay, so my butter has melted, and now I'm just going to throw, so I did a Steve thing, I added a little bit of garlic. It's not just my shallot, I just did 1 clove of garlic, just give it a little more flavor. You don't have to put the garlic. It's a Steve thing, but it's really tasty. So I would recommend it. We're just going to saute this soften this for about 3 minutes. And we'll be back in 3 minutes and go from there. Alright. It has softened. Get a beautiful smell from this. Oh, alright. Now we're ready to add our flour. And just give it a little tap. And now you're going to stir. And notice I removed it from the center where it's really hot and brought it to the side. And I'm just going to turn that, mix that, and do not stop stirring, no matter what you do. That's the trick. And you see that, how it's forming? It's almost like a belle mayonnaise, which is equal parts of flour and butter. And you're just going to push that down and mix that up really nicely. And then you're going to slowly add some milk. I think we're ready for the milk. And I'm just going to put a little bit in there. And I'm going to stir. And I'm going to keep stirring until it's smooth. You don't want a lot of heat, very low heat here. Notice how I'm bringing it all the way to the corner here. And I'm going to keep mixing. And I want to make that so about smooth like that. Now I'm just going to add a little bit more milk. And I'm going to keep stirring. And that's not so hard, is it? No, it's not. But people make like it's a big deal. But if you do this correctly, the payoff in taste is amazing. This takes a little bit of time. And you notice how it's getting smooth again? Can you see that? Okay. Let's add some more milk. I do about 1/4 of the milk at a time. Oops, got a little splashy there. Just make sure you work all that flour. We're going into the milk until it's smooth. You can use a whisk if you want. I like a wooden thingamajabobber. Alright, I think I'm ready for some more milk. Yeah, I think so. Alright. I'm going to stir that. Stir that. And now, we're going to just bring this back up on the heat a little bit. Not a lot. So if you were using a normal burner, you would have, when you added the milk, you would have turned off the heat completely. Actually, just remove it from the heat and do it, and then occasionally put it back on there. But at this point, you would put it on the lowest setting that you got, and put it back in there. And we're gonna just slowly heat that, and notice I'm still mixing it up. Oops. Try not to splash like I did, make a mess. Alright. So now, I got my oyster sauce here warming up. And some people just put the oysters directly into the shell. That's not the right way. Because we need to poach those oysters into that beautiful oyster sauce. And it's going to give it an extra something or another. So now at this point, I'm going to add a bay leaf. I got a fresh one here from my tree by the window. But if you don't have one, it's okay. Just use a dry one. Works fine. I don't know too many people that have a bay leaf tree in their kitchen. All right, now I'm going to add a little nutmeg. About half a teaspoon, whatever your fancy is. Let me look. I did about half a teaspoon. And we're going to mix that. And I'm going to leave this on here for about 5 minutes. Do not bring it to a boil. Just simmer it. Okay. So I'm ready to poach. I'm just going to move my other guy off to medium heat. I want my oyster sauce here handy. And this is what we're going to do. Put this handy here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a couple oysters in here. And I'm just going to drop them in there. 30 seconds. I think I can get more than enough room to put a couple more. Wait 30 seconds. Not long at all. We're just poaching it, folks. Okay. Almost at 30 seconds. All right. I'm going to bring it back out here. Drain it and drop it in one of my oyster shells. Drain it, drop it in one of my oyster shells. You kind of want to move quickly. That's why I only put a few in there, so I can easily not overcook them. All right. Drop one. And I think I could do the rest. They're a little slippery. And you know what? That's beautiful juice. I don't want to waste that. Put that in there. Okay. Bring that back out. Bring it back to a little sizzle here. 30 seconds. Doesn't take long. So remember, on a French plate, the center is the hottest. Further out we go, it's in direct heat and it's less hot. So you can easily control the amount of heat. Now if you hit it on a burner, the lowest heat you got, and just wait. This kind of cooled it quite a bit, so I'm just going to wait for it to just gently come back to a higher simmer. But I don't want to overdo it. So it's steaming right now. And the liquid is nice and hot. Bring it to the center and just quickly bring it to a slight boil or simmer. There we go. Okay, that's good. All right. Dropping these guys. There, I think I just put 2 in there. Oops. Somebody's going to be lucky. I have one that's broken anyway, so that's fine. When I was shucking it, I don't know my own strength. Broke the the shell. There we go. Yeah, we'll need that. Be careful, it's hot. There we go. Okay, now get that last piece of oyster, drop it in there. Okay, now what do you think I'm going to do with this? I'm going to add it to the magic. Okay. I'm going to bring this up. Weight is looking good. Okay, not too hot. It's nice and thick. Now I'm going to add, I'm going to find that bay leaf. There it is. And I'm going to take it out. And now I'm going to add my cheese. And this is a 1/4 cup of Gruyère. You can use Swiss cheese or cheddar. I tell you, the difference using this is wonderful. I'm going to take my oyster sauce and I'm going to drop it in there. And I'm just going to let that warm up. I'm going to add a little more butter. And now I'm going to judge it. Stir that. And give it a minute, and then we're going to taste it and adjust our seasoning. And if I feel like I need more cheese, which surprisingly I got a lot of oyster juice out of those oysters, so I might have to add a little bit more cheese in this, which is not a big deal because I make sure I have enough. At this point, you want to turn your broiler on. There we go. There. Yeah, I feel like I need to thicken that a little bit. So I could go 2 routes. I could add a little bit more flour or add more cheese. I get it with. Oh. Give it a good stirring. Yeah, I'm going to add more cheese. So I added another 1/4 cup because I had so much oyster sauce. So you got to judge this, but this should be plenty. Okay. Look how smooth that is. Get my tasting spoon out. I get a little bit here. Oh my God, that is good. Delicious. It just needs a bit more pepper. There. And a pinch more salt. And folks, that's why we taste things, right? Okay, let's stir that in good. Now I'm gonna take my oysters over here. Make sure they're kind of nice and in the middle. I want to balance them against each other. Use a small tray. Another trick is to use foil paper and put it on the bottom so they're flat. And believe it or not, I ran out of foil paper, so I can't show you much. That's okay. We're gonna do a balancing act here. That's fine. That's really pretty good here. On the edges. That's the other trick. You just put on the edge, and that holds it pretty good. There we go. Here's my broken oyster. Hopefully it'll be okay. Okay. Now what I want to do, take my mixture and I just want to drop it in there. A little spillage is okay. And look, I got more than enough sauce. Really, this is enough sauce for 24 oysters. I only made 12. Okay. Look how barely, it's holding barely any. Maybe if I do that. Yeah, just adjust it. There we go. Okay, I like that. Okay, now I used up all my cheese, but I didn't. Now, you can put Parmesan on top of this. I'm just going to add some more Gruyère. And don't be shy. I mean, it'll give it color, it'll give it taste. Another variance you can do is you don't have much oyster sauce, oyster liquid, I should say. You can add a little white wine, and that's lovely as well. I prefer just using the oyster juices, because I promise you, that's how they do it in France, and it's for good reason. Just beautiful flavor. There we go. Never can have too much cheese, huh? There we go. Okay. Let's throw that in the oven. You're going to keep an eye on it. When it's golden and browning and bubbly, it's ready. Stick that guy in there. Ooh, there we go. Oops, wrong shelf. We got one more higher. There we go. Okay. We're going to let that boil. And we'll be back. So here we have it. just taking it out of the broiler. I added a little tarragon on top of there, just to give it a little color. It's hot, serve it hot. A couple tips: when you shuck an oyster, only do it when you're ready to make the meal. If you keep oysters in your refrigerator for more than 1 day, put it where you keep your salad and wrap it in a towel. It'll keep up to 3 days. Just a good tip. Anyways, bonne soirée, bon appétit. I hope you enjoyed this. Share this if you like this. Like it if you like it. Comment if you have feedback. I love comments. And anyways, share it. Be happy. Enjoy your cooking. Voilà. Les huîtres Mornay. Oysters and Mornay. Beautiful. Tasty. Delicious. Bonne soirée. Bon appétit.